Jasmine collapsed onto her worn couch after another 12-hour shift at the hospital, her swollen feet throbbing. At 7 months pregnant and abandoned by her ex 3 months ago, exhaustion had become her constant companion. She pulled out her phone to text her best friend Maya a photo of her growing belly, their weekly tradition. Week 28. Baby girl is getting so big. I'm exhausted but happy. She attached the photo she'd just taken, her in a simple tank top, one hand cradling her bump, the soft evening light filtering through her apartment window. She hit send and tossed the phone aside, closing her eyes. The sharp buzz jolted her awake. But the response wasn't from Maya. Unknown number, who is this? How did you get this number? Jasmine's heart sank as she checked the thread. The contact name read Maya, but the number was different. In her exhaustion, she must have clicked the wrong contact. Jasmine, I'm so sorry. Wrong number. Please delete that photo. Unknown number, too late. I've seen it. Cold sweat broke across her skin. Jasmine, please, I'm asking respectfully. Just delete it. 3 dots appeared. Disappeared. Appeared again. Unknown number, where are you? Jasmine, that's none of your business. I apologized. Unknown number, you're tired. Exhausted. Working too hard. Alone. Fear crept up her spine. How could he know that? Jasmine, don't contact me again. She blocked the number, hands shaking. 2 days later, Jasmine left the hospital through the staff exit at midnight. The parking lot was poorly lit, shadows pooling between cars. She fumbled for her keys when she heard footsteps. Jasmine Davis. She spun around. A man stood near a sleek black car, backlit by a street lamp. As he stepped forward, her breath caught. He was striking, sharp cheekbones, dark eyes that seemed to see everything, black hair styled back. He wore an expensive suit like armor, his presence radiating controlled power. How do you know my name? She demanded, gripping her keys between her fingers. Your hospital badge was visible in the photo. The lanyard. He gestured vaguely. The rest was simple research. Who are you? What do you want? Kang Dae-hyun. He said it like she should recognize it. When she didn't react, something flickered across his face. You really don't know who I am. Should I? Most people in this city do. He took a step closer, she stepped back. He stopped immediately, raising his hand slightly. I'm not going to hurt you. Then what do you want? His dark eyes swept over her, landing on her belly. His expression softened almost imperceptibly. When I saw your photo, I couldn't stop thinking about it. About you. That's creepy, not romantic. I know. His honesty surprised her. But I want to help you. I don't need help from strangers who stalk hospital workers. You're working 12-hour shifts while 7 months pregnant. Your apartment has water damage. You're alone. His voice was matter-of-fact. You need help whether you admit it or not. Jasmine's eyes burned with tears she refused to shed. What I need is for you to leave me alone. I can't do that. Why not? He was quiet for a long moment, his jaw working like he was struggling with the words. Because when I saw you, something changed. I want to take care of you. Protect you. Both of you. You don't even know me. Then let me. He pulled out a business card, holding it out. No obligations. Just, let me help. She didn't take it. Who are you really, Kang Dae-hyun? His smile was dark. Someone who gets what he wants. Always. Not this time. She turned toward her car. Jasmine. His voice stopped her. That car won't start. Dead battery. I checked before you came out. She whirled around. You what? My driver is waiting. Let me take you home. Absolutely not. Then call a rideshare. But it's after midnight, and you're pregnant. At least let my driver follow you home to make sure you're safe. Why are you doing this? He stepped closer, and this time she didn't back away. Up close, she could see the faint scar along his jaw, the intensity in his eyes that spoke of violence witnessed and perhaps committed. But when he looked at her belly, that hardness melted. Because the moment I saw your picture, I knew. His voice dropped to almost a whisper. I want you, Jasmine. I want to give you everything. A safe home. Security. No more 12-hour shifts that exhaust you. No more struggling alone. In exchange for what? Nothing you're not willing to give. I don't trust you. Smart. He finally set the business card on the hood of her car. But I'm patient. When you're ready, and you will be ready, call me. He walked back to his car, and she noticed for the first time the 2 men standing near it, watching. Bodyguards. As his car pulled away, Jasmine looked down at the business card. Kang Dae-hyun. CEO, Kang Syndicate. Below the title, handwritten in elegant script, I meant what I said. All of it. She should throw it away. Instead, she slipped it into her pocket. Her car, predictably, wouldn't start. Jasmine stared at her phone, finger hovering over the number on Kang Dae-hyun's card. 3 days had passed since the parking lot encounter. 3 days of dead batteries, late rideshares, and mounting anxiety. She'd looked him up. The search results made her blood run cold. Kang Dae-hyun wasn't just wealthy, he was dangerous. The articles were careful, dancing around accusations they couldn't prove. Business magnate with alleged underworld connections. Investigated but never charged. Associates linked to organized crime. He was exactly what she should avoid. Her phone buzzed with a text from her landlord. Rent increase. $400 more starting next month. Jasmine's hand shook. She was already barely making it. Her savings were gone, depleted by medical bills her insurance didn't cover. Her ex had promised to help but vanished the moment she told him about the pregnancy. She dialed before she could stop herself. He answered on the first ring. Jasmine. How did you know it was me? I've been waiting. His voice was smooth, confident. Are you ready to talk? I need to know what you want from me. The truth. Dinner. Tonight. I'll send a car at 7. I didn't agree. You called me. That means you're considering it. Let me make my case properly. He paused. Jasmine, I don't hurt women. I don't hurt children. Whatever you've read about me, know that. That's not very reassuring. It's the truth. 7 o'clock. He hung up before she could argue. The car that arrived was obscenely expensive, a black Mercedes with tinted windows. The driver, a stern-faced man who introduced himself only as Jean, opened the door for her with practiced precision. Mr. Kang is waiting at his residence, Jean said. His residence? I thought we were going to a restaurant. Mr. Kang values privacy for important conversations. Red flags waved frantically in her mind, but she got in anyway. What did that say about her desperation? The drive took them out of the city into the hills, where massive estates hid behind iron gates and stone walls. Dae-hyun's home was stunning, modern architecture blending with traditional Korean elements, all glass and clean lines. He waited at the entrance, dressed more casually now in black slacks and a crisp white shirt, sleeves rolled to his elbows. Somehow, he looked more dangerous this way. Thank you for coming. He extended his hand. She didn't take it. Let's just talk. Of course. If he was offended, he didn't show it. This way. He led her through a house that belonged in magazines, art on the walls, furniture that probably cost more than her annual salary. But it felt empty, unlived in. The dining room overlooked the city, lights twinkling below like fallen stars. The table was set for 2, food already laid out. I had my chef prepare something light. You mentioned in your text to your friend that you've been nauseous. You remember the text? I remember everything about that photo. He pulled out a chair for her. Please, sit. Eat. Then we'll talk. The food was incredible, perfectly seasoned, nothing too heavy. Despite herself, Jasmine ate, suddenly realizing how hungry she was. Dae-hyun watched her with an intensity that should have been uncomfortable but instead felt almost protective. Why me? She finally asked. You could have anyone. Why fixate on a random pregnant woman who sent you a photo by mistake? He set down his glass. Do you believe in fate, Jasmine? No. Neither did I. Until I saw your picture. He leaned forward. I've built an empire through careful calculation. Every decision analyzed, every risk measured. But when I saw you, for the first time in my life, I felt something I couldn't calculate. That's not an answer. You looked happy. Exhausted, struggling, alone, but happy. You were glowing with love for your child. His voice dropped. I've never had that. Never felt that kind of pure, unconditional love. And I wanted it. Wanted to be part of it. You want to play house with someone else's baby? I want to give you both a life where you don't have to struggle. Where you can focus on being a mother instead of working yourself to death. He stood, moving to the window. I grew up poor, Jasmine. I know what it's like to watch your mother work 3 jobs and still not have enough. I swore I'd never let anyone I cared about live like that. You don't care about me. You don't know me. He turned back to her. Then let me know you. Live here. No strings attached. You'll have your own wing of the house, complete privacy. I'll cover all your medical expenses, your rent, everything. Work as much or as little as you want. In exchange for what? Your company. Dinner a few times a week. Conversation. Let me get to know you properly. That's it? That's it. If after the baby is born you want to leave, you can. I'll set up a trust fund for your daughter regardless. You'll never have to worry about money. It sounded too good to be true. What's the catch? The catch is that I'm a dangerous man, Jasmine. My enemies would see you as a weakness. Living here means accepting my protection, which means guards, security protocols, restricted freedom. So I'd be a prisoner. A safe, comfortable one. Better than being a struggling single mother who can barely keep her lights on. The truth of it stung. You investigated my finances? I investigate everything. He moved closer. I know your ex left you with nothing. I know your hospital is understaffed and you're covering double shifts. I know you're 2 months behind on your electric bill. His voice softened. I know you're terrified. Tears burned her eyes. Don't. Let me help you. That's all I'm asking for, a chance to help. Why does it feel like I'd be selling myself? Because pride is easier than accepting help. He crouched beside her chair, meeting her eyes. You're not selling anything, Jasmine. You're accepting a hand up from someone who has more than he could ever need and wants to share it with someone who deserves it. I don't deserve anything from you. You deserve everything. The intensity in his eyes made her breath catch. This was insane. He was a stranger. Possibly a criminal. Definitely dangerous. But her baby kicked just then, a strong flutter against her ribs, and she thought about the future, working through her entire pregnancy, raising a child alone in a crumbling apartment, always one emergency away from disaster. I need time to think. Take all the time you need. He stood. Jean will drive you home. Call me when you decide. At her door, he caught her hand, pressing something into it. When she looked down, she saw a key. What's this? To the house. In case you decide before you call me. You're welcome anytime, day or night. She should give it back. He didn't. Jasmine lasted 4 more days. 4 days of her apartment's heat cutting out. 4 days of her supervisor adding more shifts she couldn't refuse. 4 days of her baby kicking harder, as if protesting the stress her mother was under. The breaking point came on a Tuesday. She'd just finished a double shift when she returned to find an eviction notice on her door. The landlord had sold the building. Everyone had 30 days to leave. Jasmine slid down the door to the floor, too exhausted to even cry. Her phone felt heavy in her hand as she pulled up Dae-hyun's number. Jasmine, I need to talk. His response was immediate. Dae-hyun, I'm sending in. Pack what matters. Jasmine, I haven't decided yet. Dae-hyun, pack anyway. You can decide here, where it's warm. She wanted to argue, but her apartment was freezing and her body ached. 20 minutes later, Jean arrived with 2 other men who moved with military precision, packing her belongings without a word. Mr. Kang said to bring everything, Jean said gently. You can always return what you don't need. The drive to Dae-hyun's estate felt surreal. When they arrived, he was waiting outside despite the cold, his expression unreadable. Thank you for coming, he said softly. I haven't agreed to anything. I know. He gestured toward the house. Your room is ready. Guest wing, 2nd floor. Complete privacy. The room was larger than her entire apartment. Floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking gardens, a bed that looked like a cloud, a bathroom with a tub big enough to swim in. Her meager belongings looked lost in the space. There's a nursery next door, Dae-hyun said from the doorway. I took the liberty of having it prepared. If you don't like anything, it can be changed. She walked to the adjoining room and froze. It was perfect, soft yellows and whites, a crib that looked hand-carved, a rocking chair by the window. Everything a baby could need. When did you do this? The day after I met you. I hoped you'd come. He stayed in the doorway, maintaining distance. Dinner is at 7 if you want to join me. Otherwise, I can have food sent up. Dae-hyun. She turned to face him. Why are you really doing this? He was quiet for a long moment. My mother died when I was 12. Worked herself to death trying to provide for us. I watched her fade away, powerless to help. His jaw tightened. When I saw your photo, exhausted, alone, but still smiling for your baby, I saw her. And I swore I wouldn't let history repeat itself. I'm not your mother. No. But maybe I can be what we needed back then. Someone with the means and the will to help. After he left, Jasmine explored her new space. The closet was stocked with maternity clothes in her size. The bathroom had every product she could need. A tablet on the nightstand had a note, for anything you need. Just ask. She should feel trapped. Instead, she felt something dangerously close to relief. She joined him for dinner. Dae-hyun's face lit up when she entered, though he quickly schooled his expression. I'm glad you came down. I have questions. Ask anything. She sat across from him. The articles I read about you. Are they true? Some of them. Which ones? I run a syndicate, Jasmine. I control territory, settle disputes, collect debts. I've heard people who threaten what's mine. His honesty was brutal. But I don't deal drugs, I don't traffic humans, and I don't target innocents. There are lines I won't cross. That's supposed to make me feel better? No. But it's the truth. I won't lie to you about who I am. She appreciated that, at least. What happens if I stay? Really? You live here. Safely. Comfortably. I cover all expenses, medical, personal, whatever you need. You can work if you want, though I'd prefer you didn't, at least until after the baby comes. And you get what? To know you. To be part of your lives, if you'll allow it. He leaned forward. I'm not asking to replace your baby's father. I'm asking for a chance to be someone who cares, who protects, who provides. What about after? When the baby comes? That's up to you. If you want to stay, stay. If you want to leave, I'll set you both up in a home of your choosing, fully paid for. The trust fund remains either way. This isn't normal. Nothing about my life is normal. His smile was self-deprecating. But I'm offering you safety, Jasmine. Real, concrete safety. And all I'm asking for in return is a chance. She thought about her alternatives. A shelter, maybe. Couch surfing with friends who had their own problems. Fighting for every scrap while pregnant and alone. I need rules. Boundaries. Name them. My room is my space. You don't come in without permission. Agreed. I won't be paraded around like some trophy or mistress. You're neither. Your privacy is paramount. And if this doesn't work, if I want to leave, you let me go. No threats, no manipulation. Something flickered in his eyes, pain, maybe, but he nodded. You have my word. Though I'll ask that you give it at least a month. Let yourself adjust. 1 month, she agreed. Then we reassess. He extended his hand across the table. Deal. She took it. His hand was warm, calloused, strong. The handshake felt like sealing a pact with the devil. Or maybe it felt like the first smart decision she'd made in months. That night, Jasmine lay in the most comfortable bed she'd ever known, her baby doing somersaults inside her. Through the window, she could see guards patrolling the grounds. Her phone buzzed. A text from Dae-hyun. Dae-hyun, thank you for trusting me. Sleep well. She stared at it for a long time before responding. Jasmine, thank you for the second chance. Dae-hyun, you're giving me the second chance. Sleep, Jasmine. You're safe now. And despite everything, the danger, the uncertainty, the absolute insanity of her situation, she believed him. For the first time in months, she slept through the night. Jasmine woke to sunlight streaming through floor-to-ceiling windows and the smell of coffee. For a confused moment, she didn't know where she was. Then reality crashed back. She was living with a Korean mob boss. A soft knock on her door made her jump. Come in. A woman in her 50s entered, carrying a tray. Good morning, Miss Davis. I'm Mrs. Han, the housekeeper. Mr. Kang asked me to bring you breakfast. Decaf coffee, whole grain toast, fruit, and scrambled eggs with spinach. That's very specific. MRS. Han smilade varmly. Mr. Kang researched pregnancy nutrition extensively. He's been quite particular about meal planning. She set the tray on the bedside table. If there's anything you don't like or need, just let me know. After she left, Jasmine stared at the food. He'd researched pregnancy nutrition? The coffee was perfectly warm but not hot, and the eggs were fluffy. Everything was delicious. Her phone buzzed. Dae-hyun, good morning. I have meetings all day but I'm home for dinner at 7. Join me? Jasmine, you're asking, not telling? Dae-hyun, always asking. You're not obligated to spend time with me. Jasmine, then yes. I'll be there. Dae-hyun, I'm looking forward to it. She spent the morning exploring the house. It was massive, a gym, a library, a home theater, even an indoor pool. Guards nodded respectfully as she passed but kept their distance. In the library, she found an entire section on pregnancy and childbirth. All the books looked new, bookmarks placed in chapters about third trimester care. He reads them every night. Jasmine spun around. Jean stood in the doorway, his stern expression softened slightly. Mr. Kang wants to understand what you're going through. He doesn't do anything halfway. Jean hesitated. He's a good man, Miss Davis. Dangerous, yes. But good. How long have you worked for him? 15 years. He saved my life when I had nothing. I've been loyal ever since. Jin's eyes were serious. He doesn't let many people close. The fact that he's opened his home to you, it means something. After Jean left, Jasmine couldn't shake his words. She pulled out one of the books, finding detailed notes in the margins in neat handwriting. Questions. Observations. One note simply said, "How do I help with this?" Something in her chest tightened. Dinner that evening was different. Dae-hyun seemed more relaxed, his suit jacket discarded, sleeves rolled up. He'd had Mrs. Han prepare Korean food, bulgogi, kimchi, rice, and banchan. I thought you might want to try something different, he said. But if you prefer Western food, this looks amazing. And it was. The flavors were incredible, nothing too spicy for her sensitive stomach. Tell me about yourself, Dae-hyun said. Not the facts I researched. The real you. What do you want to know? Everything. Your childhood. Your dreams. What makes you laugh? So she told him. About growing up with a single mom who worked as a teacher. About wanting to be a nurse since she was 8. About her ex, Marcus, who'd seemed perfect until the pregnancy test came back positive. He said he wasn't ready to be a father, she said quietly. Packed his bags that night. I haven't heard from him since. Dae-hyun's knuckles went white around his chopsticks. Give me his name. Why? So I can make him regret abandoning you. Dae-hyun. I'm joking. But his eyes said otherwise. Mostly. She couldn't help but laugh, and his expression softened immediately. There it is, he said. What? Your smile. It's even more beautiful in person. Heat flooded her cheeks. You can't just say things like that. Why not? It's true. He stood, clearing their plates despite her protests. What about baby names? Have you chosen one? I was thinking Zoe. It means life. Zoe. He tested it, smiling. It's perfect. Strong. Beautiful. Like her mother. You're doing it again. Stating facts? Yes, I am. He led her to the living room, where a fire crackled in the fireplace. May I? He gestured to her belly. She hesitated, then nodded. His hand was warm through her sweater, tentative and gentle. Zoe kicked, hard. Dae-hyun's eyes widened. She's strong. She's a fighter. Takes after her mom. Jasmine placed her hand over his. Thank you. For all of this. I know I haven't said it properly. You don't need to thank me. Yes, I do. It's more than I ever expected. More than I deserve. You deserve the world, Jasmine. His voice was low, intense. And I'm going to give it to you. The moment stretched between them, charged with something she wasn't ready to name. His hand was still on her belly, their faces close in the firelight. Her phone shattered the moment, buzzing violently. Unknown number. Don't answer it, Dae-hyun said immediately. But she already had. Hello? Heavy breathing. Then, I know where you are, Jasmine. Living with the Korean mob? Really? Wait until Child Services hears about this. Marcus. Her blood ran cold. How did you? I've been watching. You think you can just move on? Raise my kid with some criminal? His voice turned vicious. I'm going to make sure you lose everything. Dae-hyun took the phone from her trembling hand. His voice was ice. Marcus Lee. Age 29. Lives at 2847 Parkview Avenue, Apartment 3B. Works at Henderson Financial. Your mother's name is Patricia. She lives in Florida. Silence. If you ever contact Jasmine again, I will destroy everything you love. Your job. Your reputation. Your freedom. Dae-hyun's smile was terrifying. And that's if I'm feeling merciful. Do we understand each other? A strangled sound, then the line went dead. Dae-hyun handed back her phone gently, his expression transforming back to concern. Are you all right? She was shaking. How did you know all that about him? I know everything about everyone who's ever hurt you. He cupped her face gently. He won't bother you again. I promise. You scared him. Good. He should be scared. His thumb brushed her cheek. No one threatens what's mine. I'm not. You are. His eyes blazed. Maybe you don't see it yet. But you're mine to protect, Jasmine. Mine to care for. And I will burn down anyone who tries to hurt you. It should terrify her. Instead, she felt safe. She leaned into his touch, and something shifted between them. Something dangerous and inevitable. Dae-hyun, she whispered. Tell me to stop. Tell me this is too much, too fast. She should. But she didn't. Instead, she kissed him. The kiss was soft at first, tentative. Dae-hyun froze for a heartbeat, as if afraid to move, afraid she'd vanish. Then his hand slid into her hair, and he kissed her back with a hunger that stole her breath. When they finally broke apart, both breathing hard, his forehead rested against hers. Jasmine, he whispered, voice rough. We should stop. Why? Because if we don't, I won't be able to. His control was visibly fraying. And you're vulnerable right now. Scared. I won't take advantage of that. She pulled back to meet his eyes. What if I want you to? Don't say that unless you mean it. I mean it. Her hand found his chest, feeling his racing heartbeat. I'm tired of being careful. Tired of denying myself anything good because I'm afraid. You make me feel safe, Dae-hyun. You make me feel wanted. You are wanted. His voice dropped to a growl. God, Jasmine, you have no idea how much. This time when they kissed, there was no hesitation. His hands were everywhere, her face, her hair, her back, worshipful and possessive all at once. She melted into him, months of loneliness and fear dissolving under his touch. He lifted her easily, carrying her toward the stairs. Your room or mine? Yours, she breathed. I want to see where you sleep. His bedroom was as she'd expected, minimalist, masculine, dominated by a massive bed. He set her down gently, his eyes dark with desire but also concern. We'll go slow, he promised. If anything hurts or feels wrong, you tell me. Zoe comes first. The fact that he was thinking about her baby even now made her heart twist. I trust you. His kiss was deeper this time, more demanding. His hands found the hem of her sweater, and she raised her arms, letting him pull it off. She stood before him in just her maternity bra and leggings, suddenly self-conscious of her swollen belly. Don't, he said, reading her expression. You're beautiful. Breathtaking. He traced the curve of her stomach reverently, then pressed a kiss there. Hello, little Zoe. Your mama is the most incredible woman I've ever met. Tears pricked Jasmine's eyes. You're going to make me cry. Then I'll kiss every tear away. And he did, his lips soft against her cheeks before finding her mouth again. They moved to the bed, and he was true to his word, slow, careful, worshipful. He explored every inch of her like she was precious, adjusting positions to accommodate her belly, constantly checking that she was comfortable. When they finally came together, it felt like more than just physical release. It felt like a promise. Afterward, she lay against his chest, his arm wrapped protectively around her, hand resting on her stomach. I didn't plan this, she murmured. Neither did I. He pressed a kiss to her hair. But I'm not sorry it happened. Me neither. She traced patterns on his chest. This complicates things. Or simplifies them. He tilted her chin up to meet her eyes. I want you, Jasmine. Not just physically. I want you here, in my life, in my bed, in my future. I want to be there when Zoe is born. I want to be the one she calls for in the middle of the night. He stopped, jaw working. What? I want to be your family. Her breath caught. Dae-hyun. I know it's fast. I know it's crazy. But I've never been more certain of anything. His hand cupped her face. Stay with me. Not because you need protection or money. Stay because you want to. Because this, us, is worth exploring. What are you asking? Be mine. Really mine. Let me be yours. Let me be Zoe's father in every way that matters. It was insane. They'd known each other less than 2 weeks. He was a criminal. This should be a disaster waiting to happen. But when she looked into his eyes, she saw something she'd never seen in Marcus's, absolute certainty. Commitment. Love, maybe, or at least the beginning of it. I'm scared, she admitted. Me too. His smile was vulnerable. I've never felt this way about anyone. It's terrifying. What if it doesn't work? What if it does? He kissed her softly. Give us a chance, Jasmine. A real one. No more boundaries, no more 1-month trial. Just us, figuring this out together. She thought about the alternative, leaving, going back to struggling alone, always wondering what might have been. Okay, she whispered. Yes. Let's do this. His smile could have lit the city. He kissed her deeply, possessively, sealing the deal. You're mine now, he murmured against her lips. And you're mine. Completely. She woke wrapped in his arms, sunlight streaming through windows. For the first time in months, she felt genuinely happy. Dae-hyun was already awake, watching her with soft eyes. Good morning, beautiful. How long have you been awake? An hour. I didn't want to miss a moment of seeing you here. She blushed. That's incredibly sappy. I'm a sappy man when it comes to you. He kissed her forehead. Hungry? I'll have Mrs. Han prepare breakfast. In bed? Anywhere you want. You're the queen of this house now. Don't spoil me too much. Impossible. I'm just getting started. He grabbed his phone, firing off a text. I'm canceling my meetings today. I want to spend the day with you. You don't have to do that. I want to. His hand found her belly. Good morning, Zoe. Did you sleep well? The baby kicked in response, and Dae-hyun's face lit up like a child on Christmas morning. She likes your voice, Jasmine said. Good. She'll be hearing it a lot. He leaned down, speaking softly to her belly. I'm going to take care of you both. I promise. You'll never want for anything. Jasmine's heart swelled painfully. This man, dangerous, powerful, feared, was speaking to her unborn child with such tenderness it made her want to cry. I love you, she blurted out, then immediately froze. Dae-hyun's head snapped up, eyes wide. What? I mean, it's fast, and maybe it's just hormones, but... He silenced her with a kiss. Say it again. I love you. Again. I love you, Dae-hyun. His smile was brilliant. I love you too. God, Jasmine, I've been dying to say it. He kissed her between words. I love you. This is crazy. The best things always are. He pulled her closer, careful of her belly. Move into my room. Officially. I want to wake up with you every morning. What about boundaries? We just crossed the biggest one. Might as well make it official. She laughed, feeling lighter than she had in years. Okay. Yes. Good. His hand traced lazy circles on her back. Because I'm never letting you go. And wrapped in his arms, their baby moving between them, Jasmine believed him. 3 weeks passed in blissful domesticity. Jasmine moved completely into Dae-hyun's room, her things mixing with his in a way that felt natural. He attended every doctor's appointment, asked endless questions, and rubbed her feet every night while they watched movies. She'd never been happier. Which was why she should have known something would go wrong. It started with small things. A car following her when Jean drove her to appointments. Hang-up calls on Dae-hyun's phone that made his jaw tighten. Guards doubling on the property. What's going on? She asked one evening, watching him pace their bedroom while on the phone, speaking rapid Korean. He ended the call and forced a smile. Nothing for you to worry about. Don't do that. Don't shut me out. He sighed, pulling her into his arms. There's a rival syndicate making moves. Testing boundaries. It happens sometimes. Is it dangerous? I won't let anything happen to you. He kissed her forehead. I promise. But the tension didn't ease. If anything, it grew worse. 2 nights later, Jasmine woke to find the bed empty. She found Dae-hyun in his study, staring at security monitors, a gun on the desk beside him. Dae-hyun? He spun, immediately moving the gun out of sight. What are you doing up? Looking for you. What's wrong? Nothing. Go back to bed. Stop lying to me. She moved closer. I'm not fragile. I can handle the truth. He studied her for a long moment, then gestured to the monitors. Park Jae-sung. He runs the Northern Territory. We've had an uneasy truce for years, but he's gotten bold lately. Making moves on my businesses, pressuring my associates. Why now? Because word got out that I'm distracted. His eyes met hers. That I have something precious to protect. Her blood ran cold. Me. You and Zoe, yes. He pulled her close. He thinks you're my weakness. He's wrong, you're my strength. But he doesn't understand that. What does he want? Territory. Power. Me out of the way. Dae-hyun's jaw clenched. He won't get any of it. Maybe I should leave. Stay somewhere else until this is resolved. No. His response was immediate, almost violent. You're safest here, with me. I have 30 men on this property alone. Another 50 I can call within minutes. Nobody touches what's mine. The possessiveness should have bothered her. Instead, it made her feel secure. Come back to bed, she whispered. You need rest too. I need to make sure you're safe. I am safe. You're here. She took his hand. Please. He let her lead him back to bed, but she felt the tension in his body, the way he kept glancing at his phone. She fell asleep with his arm around her, his hand protectively covering her belly. The attack came 3 days later. Jasmine was in the garden, enjoying the afternoon sun while Mrs. Han fussed over her with lemonade. The gardens were beautiful, enclosed by high walls, guarded at every entrance. She never saw the danger coming. The explosion rocked the east wall, sending debris flying. Gunfire erupted immediately, the guards engaging threats. Mrs. Han screamed, pulling Jasmine toward the house. Then Dae-hyun was there, appearing from nowhere, his face a mask of cold fury. He had a gun in one hand and wrapped his other arm around Jasmine. Inside. Now. His voice left no room for argument. He practically carried her into the house, Jean and 4 other guards surrounding them. They rushed to a room she'd never seen, behind a bookshelf in his study, a reinforced panic room. Stay here, Dae-hyun ordered, pushing her inside. Don't open this door for anyone but me or Jean. Where are you going? To end this. He kissed her hard. I love you. Both of you. Don't forget that. Dae-hyun, don't. But he was already gone, the door sealing shut behind him. The panic room had monitors showing different angles of the property. Jasmine watched in horror as armed men poured through the breach in the wall. Dae-hyun's guards engaged them, but they were outnumbered. Then she saw him, Dae-hyun, moving through the chaos like death itself. Every movement was precise, efficient. He took down 3 men in seconds, covering his guards' positions, barking orders in Korean. He was terrifying. Beautiful. Deadly. This was who he really was. Not the gentleman who rubbed her feet and talked to her belly. This was Kang Dae-hyun, the feared mob boss who'd built an empire through blood and steel. And he was doing this for her. The battle lasted 20 minutes but felt like hours. Finally, the attackers retreated, leaving bodies behind. Jasmine counted 8 of Dae-hyun's guards down, but she couldn't tell if they were dead or injured. Dae-hyun stood in the center of the carnage, blood on his shirt. She couldn't tell if it was his phone pressed to his ear. Even from the monitor, she could see the fury radiating from him. Then he was striding toward the house, toward her, and she heard the locks disengaging. He burst through the door, eyes wild, and immediately pulled her into his arms. "Are you hurt?" "Is Zoe?" "We're fine. We're okay." She clung to him, feeling him shake. "You're bleeding." "Not my blood." His hands roamed over her frantically, checking for injuries. "I'm so sorry. This should never have happened. It's not your fault." "It is. I brought you into this world. I put you in danger." He pulled back, his eyes haunted. "Maybe you should leave. Go somewhere safe, somewhere Park can't reach." "No." She grabbed his face, forcing him to look at her. "I'm not leaving you. We're in this together, remember? Jasmine. I knew what you were when I agreed to this. I'm not running now." She pressed her forehead to his. "We're a family. We fight together." He kissed her desperately, pouring months of fear and love and need into it. When they broke apart, his eyes were wet. "I'm going to kill Park Jae-sung for this," he said quietly. "It won't be clean. It won't be quick. Are you okay with that?" She should be horrified. Should tell him to find another way. Instead, she said, "Do what you need to do. Just come home to us." His smile was dark and full of promise. Always. That night, Dae-hyun held her close, neither of them sleeping. Outside, crews worked to repair the wall and clean up the aftermath. Inside, they clung to each other. "I have to leave tomorrow," he said quietly. "To handle Park." "How long?" "A few days. Maybe a week." His hand splayed across her belly. "I'll have 50 guards here. Jean will be with you constantly. You'll be safe." "I know." She kissed his jaw. "I trust you. I don't deserve you." "Yes, you do." She met his eyes. "Come home to us, Dae-hyun. That's all I ask. I promise." And as Zoe kicked between them, a reminder of what they were fighting for, Jasmine knew he'd keep that promise. No matter what it cost. Dae-hyun left before dawn, kissing her awake with a tenderness that broke her heart. "I'll call every day," he promised. "Don't leave the property. Jean has orders to lock you in if necessary." "That won't be necessary. I'll be good." She pulled him down for another kiss. "Be careful. Always." His hand rested on her belly one last time. "Take care of your mama, Zoe. Daddy will be home soon." The word daddy made her throat tight. He'd been calling himself that more and more, and she'd stopped correcting him. Because that's what he was becoming, Zoe's father in every way that mattered. After he left, the house felt emptier despite the guards everywhere. Jean shadowed her constantly, polite but immovable. "Mrs. Han made your favorite breakfast," he said. "And Mr. Kang arranged for the doctor to come here for your appointment tomorrow instead of you going out. He thinks of everything." "He thinks of you," Jean corrected gently. "That's all he thinks of lately." The first day crawled by. Dae-hyun called 3 times, morning, afternoon, and night. Each call was brief, but his voice grounded her. "How are you feeling?" he'd ask. "Missing you. Soon, baby. Soon." The second day was harder. His evening call was rushed, sounds of shouting in the background. "Everything okay?" she asked. "Fine. Just complications. I love you." "I love you too. Stay safe." He hung up before she could say more. The third day, he didn't call at all. By evening, Jasmine was pacing their bedroom, calling his phone repeatedly. It went straight to voicemail every time. Jean tried to reassure her. "Mr. Kang can handle himself. He's probably in the middle of negotiations. Or he's hurt. Or worse. He's not." The house alarm screamed to life. Jean had her moving instantly, hand on his gun, speaking rapidly into his radio in Korean. They rushed toward the panic room, but this time, something felt different. "Wait," Jasmine said. "The alarm pattern, isn't that the all-clear signal?" Jean paused, listening. His face transformed with relief. "He's home." They found Dae-hyun in the foyer, covered in blood and bruises, but alive. Gloriously, beautifully alive. Jasmine ran to him, and he caught her despite his obvious injuries, lifting her off her feet. "You're hurt," she sobbed. "I'm fine. It's over." He set her down carefully, cupping her face. "Park is dead. His organization scattered. You're safe now. Really safe. You scared me. You didn't call." "I know. I'm sorry. Things got intense." His thumb brushed away her tears. "But I promised I'd come home to you. I always keep my promises." She kissed him, tasting blood and salt and relief. "Don't ever do that to me again." I'll try not to start any more wars. Good. Mrs. Han appeared with a first aid kit, skiing over Dae-hyun's injuries. You need a hospital, Mr. Kang. I need a shower and my woman. In that order. He winced as Jasmine touched a particularly nasty bruise on his ribs. Okay, maybe medical attention first. They patched him up in the bathroom, 3 cracked ribs, various cuts and bruises, but nothing life-threatening. Jasmine watched the doctor work, her heart in her throat. You're lucky, the doctor said. A few inches to the left and that knife wound would have hit something vital. I'm always lucky. Dae-hyun's eyes found Jasmine. Especially lately. After the doctor left, she helped him into the shower, washing away the blood and grime while he leaned against the wall, eyes closed. Tell me what happened, she said softly. Are you sure you want to know? Yes. So he told her. About tracking Park to his compound. The firefight that ensued. The final confrontation where Park had pulled a knife, slashing wildly before Dae-hyun put a bullet between his eyes. I didn't give him a chance to surrender, Dae-hyun said quietly. He threatened you. Attacked our home. I wanted him dead. Good. The word surprised even her. He deserved it. He pulled her close, despite the water still running. You're not horrified? I'm horrified you were hurt. That you had to do this at all. She traced the new scar forming on his shoulder. But I'm not sorry he's gone. Does that make me a bad person? It makes you mine. He kissed her softly. My woman. My family. Mine to protect and cherish. And love? Especially love. They made it to bed eventually, Dae-hyun moving carefully because of his ribs. She curled into his side, listening to his heartbeat, reassuring herself he was really here. I was terrified, she admitted. When you didn't call. I thought. I know. I'm sorry. His fingers combed through her hair. It won't happen again. Park was the last major threat. The other bosses know better than to test me now. Because you killed him? Because I killed him for you. His voice was dark. They understand what that means. That I'll burn the world down to keep you safe. That's intense. You make me intense. He tilted her chin up. I've never loved anyone the way I love you, Jasmine. It's consuming. All-encompassing. Terrifying. I feel the same way. She pressed her hand to his chest. When you didn't call, I felt like I couldn't breathe. Like part of me was missing. Never again. I promise. He kissed her forehead. From now on, it's just us? Building our life. Waiting for Zoe. Being a family. A family, she echoed, smiling. I like the sound of that. Me too. His hand found her belly, and Zoe kicked in response. Hey, princess. Daddy's home. Did you miss me? Another kick, stronger this time. I think that's a yes, Jasmine laughed. Good. Because I missed you both more than I can say. He shifted lower, pressing his ear to her belly. I'm going to spoil you rotten, little Zoe. You're going to be so loved you won't know what to do with it. Tears streamed down Jasmine's face as she watched this dangerous, deadly man speak softly to her unborn child. This was real. This love, this family, it was all real. Marry me, Dae-hyun said suddenly, looking up at her. What? Marry me. Make this official. Let me be your husband. Zoe's father. Legally. Permanently, forever. Dae-hyun. I know it's fast. I know we're crazy. But I want to wake up every morning as your husband. I want Zoe to have my name. I want the world to know you're mine and I'm yours. He sat up carefully, taking her hands. Marry me, Jasmine. Please. She should say they needed more time. Should point out they'd only known each other 2 months. Should be practical. Instead, she said, yes. His smile could have lit the darkness. Yes? Yes, I'll marry you. Yes to everything. He kissed her like a man drowning, finding air at last. And somewhere between the kiss and the tears and the joy, Jasmine realized this had always been inevitable. From the moment she'd sent that wrong number text, their fates had been sealed. And she wouldn't change a single thing. The wedding happened 2 weeks later in the estate's gardens, small and intimate. Just Mrs. Han, Jean, a handful of Dae-hyun's most trusted men, and a judge who owed him a favor. Jasmine wore a simple white dress that accommodated her now 8.5-month belly. Dae-hyun wore a traditional Korean hanbok, looking so handsome it made her breath catch. You're staring, he murmured as they stood before the judge. You're gorgeous. Says the most beautiful woman I've ever seen. His hand found hers. Ready to be Mrs. Kang? More than ready. The ceremony was brief but meaningful. When the judge pronounced them married, Dae-hyun kissed her with such tender passion that Mrs. Han actually teared up. I love you, wife, he whispered against her lips. I love you, husband. That night, he carried her to bed despite her protests about his still healing ribs. You're supposed to carry me over the threshold, not up the stairs, she laughed. I'm carrying you everywhere today. It's tradition. That is absolutely not tradition. It's our tradition now. He set her down gently, kneeling before her. May I? He lifted her dress, pressing kisses to her belly. Hello, Zoe. Your parents got married today. That means I'm officially your daddy now. And I promise to love you and your mama for the rest of my life. Jasmine's hand threaded through his hair. She's lucky to have you. I'm the lucky one. He stood, pulling her close. Both my girls in my arms. Nothing else matters. They made love slowly, carefully, worshipfully. Afterward, Jasmine lay against his chest, tracing the new scars he'd earned protecting her. No regrets, he asked softly. Not a single one. She kissed his jaw. You? My only regret is not finding you sooner. We found each other at the right time. I needed you when I did. And I needed you. His hand splayed across her belly. Both of you saved me, Jasmine. Before you, I was just existing. Going through motions. Building power but not knowing why. His voice roughened. You gave me purpose. You gave me hope, she whispered back. When I had nothing, when I was ready to give up, you appeared. Like fate. Maybe it was fate. He kissed her softly. A wrong number that turned into everything right. 2 weeks later, Jasmine woke at 3 in the morning with a sharp pain in her lower back. Dae-hyun, she gasped, shaking him awake. He was alert instantly. What's wrong? I think it's time. His eyes went wide. Time? Like baby time? Yes, baby time. What followed was controlled chaos. Dae-hyun called the doctor, Mrs. Han prepared bags, and Jean had the car ready in minutes. Dae-hyun stayed by her side, holding her hand, coaching her breathing. You've got this, he murmured. You're so strong, baby. So strong. Easy for you to say, she panted through another contraction. I know. I'm sorry. What can I do? Just stay with me. Always. He kissed her forehead. I'm not going anywhere. The drive to the hospital was a blur. Dae-hyun had arranged for a private wing, the best doctors, everything. But Jasmine barely noticed any of it, focused on breathing through the contractions. Labor lasted 14 hours. 14 hours of pain and exhaustion and fear. But Dae-hyun never left her side, letting her squeeze his hand until she thought she might break bones, whispering encouragement, being her anchor. I can't do this, she sobbed during a particularly brutal contraction. Yes, you can. You're the strongest person I know. He pressed his forehead to hers. Just a little longer, love. Then we meet our daughter. When Zoe finally arrived, screaming her displeasure at the world, Jasmine collapsed back against the pillows, exhausted and elated. She's perfect, the doctor said, placing the baby on Jasmine's chest. Absolutely perfect. She was. 10 tiny fingers, 10 tiny toes, a shock of dark hair, and lungs that could wake the dead. Jasmine looked down at her daughter and felt her heart expand impossibly. Hi, baby girl, she whispered. We've been waiting for you. Dae-hyun stood frozen beside the bed, staring at Zoe like she was a miracle. Tears streamed down his face unchecked. Do you want to hold her? Jasmine asked softly. His voice broke. Can I? Of course. She's your daughter. The nurse helped transfer Zoe to his arms, and Dae-hyun cradled her like she was made of glass. His hands shook slightly, his expression one of pure awe. Hello, Zoe, he whispered. I'm your daddy. I've been waiting my whole life to meet you. Zoe quieted at his voice, her tiny hand wrapping around his finger. Dae-hyun made a sound somewhere between a laugh and a sob. She's holding my finger, he said, wonder in his voice. She knows you're hers, Jasmine said, tears streaming down her own face. He bent down, pressing the softest kiss to Zoe's forehead. I love you, little one. More than I knew it was possible to love anyone. I'm going to protect you and your mama forever. Nothing will ever hurt you while I'm alive. Dae-hyun, Jasmine whispered. He looked at her, eyes wet. Thank you. For her. For us. For giving me a family. Thank you for finding me. For saving me. You saved me first. He carefully sat on the edge of the bed, Zoe still in his arms. That wrong number was the best mistake of my life. Jasmine leaned against his shoulder, watching their daughter yawn. Mine too. They sat like that for a long time, the three of them, a family forged from an accident and sealed with love. Outside, Jean stood guard, keeping the world at bay. Inside, nothing existed except this perfect moment. She has your nose, Dae-hyun observed. And your eyes. Poor thing. She's beautiful. Perfect. Jasmine kissed his shoulder. Just like her daddy. Careful, or I'll start crying again. Too late. She wiped a tear from his cheek. You're such a softie. Only for my girls. He kissed Jasmine, then Zoe's forehead again. My whole world fits in my arms right now. We're not going anywhere. Good. His voice was fierce. Because I'm never letting either of you go. And as Zoe slept peacefully between them, Jasmine knew he meant it. This man, this dangerous, powerful, gentle man, was theirs. And they were his. Forever. 1 year later, Jasmine sat in the garden watching Dae-hyun chase a giggling Zoe around the grass. At 15 months old, their daughter was walking, babbling, and had her father completely wrapped around her tiny finger. Dada. Zoe squealed as he scooped her up, spinning her around. That's right, princess. Dada's got you. Jasmine's hand rested on her growing belly, another surprise, this one very much planned. A boy this time, they'd learned last week. Dae-hyun caught her watching and jogged over, Zoe bouncing in his arms. What are you thinking about? He asked. How a year ago, I was alone and terrified. And now? She gestured at their life. Now I have everything. He sat beside her, Zoe climbing into Jasmine's lap to pat her belly. Baby, Zoe announced proudly. That's right, sweetheart. Baby brother. Dae-hyun's arm wrapped around Jasmine's shoulders, pulling her close. Best wrong number ever sent. She laughed. Best wrong number ever received. Think we should thank Marcus? Absolutely not. Fair enough. He kissed her temple. I love you, Mrs. Kang. I love you too, Mr. Kang. Zoe patted both their faces. Love? Yes, baby, Jasmine said, heart full to bursting. So much love. And it was true. From a simple mistake had come the greatest love story she'd ever known. The end. If you loved Jasmine and Dae-hyun's story, hit that subscribe button for more passionate romance tales. Drop a comment telling us your favorite moment.